Okay, part two of the Lab 7 PowerPoints. Hopefully you were able to come up with some kind of a map for this plasmid. Your TA will go over that with you during block 2 of Lab 7. So here we go. These are some of the things that essentially we hope you will see in your digest lanes. Plasmid 1, going with lanes 1E and 1B, is sort of the platonic ideal of a straightforward plasmid. You've got a single insert with a very clear size, no BAMH1 sites in the insert. The linearized plasmid in the BAMH1 lane is equal to the size of the bands in the EcoR1 lane. It's pretty straightforward. If we look at plasmid 3, that one's almost as simple. We've still got clearly one vector band, one insert band. And then looking at the BAMH1 lane, we see there are two bands, so there must have been a BAMH1 site in the insert. But again, the sum of the sizes of the bands in the BAMH1 lane is the same as the sum of the sizes of the bands in the EcoR1 lane. So that's also a nice straightforward one. Plasmids 2 and 4 are the kind of results that are relatively common and are a little less straightforward than the others. Both of those are instances where the EcoR1 lane shows just one band at 3 kb, in which case there are two possibilities. One is that you've got a 3 kb insert, which is what we see with plasmid 2. When you look at the BAMH1 lane, those two bands add up to 6 kb, so we can tell there must have been a 3 kb insert as well. Or that the insert was too small to see and it's run off the gel, which is what's happening with plasmid 4, where we can see that the BAMH1 band is only slightly higher than the EcoR1 3 kb band. Plasmid 5 is a little more complicated than that. That one has two distinct pieces of yeast DNA that both ligated together as well as ligating to P blue script. But we were fortunate in that one in that the BAMH1 lane just has a single band, and it's again the sum of the sizes in the EcoR1 lane. So those are the kinds of results that we hope to see. They're even the more complicated one, like plasmid 5, is still reasonably straightforward. Now we're going to look at some of the things that can make your gel results not look like we expect them to. Here's a prime example. If we look at the EcoR1 lane and the BAMH1 lane, well, there's something a little odd going on there. I had mentioned earlier that the larger a piece of DNA is, the larger a band is, the brighter it should be. But if we look at the EcoR1 lane, that band is fainter than the other two bands in that lane, which is weird. That's not what's supposed to happen. It's also about the size of the band in the BAMH1 lane. So at this point, I'd like you to open up the partial digest exercise that's posted on Sakai and work on that. And then once you've finished, you can move on to the next video.